All right, so we're live. Just trying to set the volume so that it does not interfere with the one we're doing. All right, so that is done. Okay, so let's get started. All right. So good morning, everyone, Mr. David, Sidikat, Abdul Salam, and everybody. So today, fundamentals. In terms of fundamentals, we have again the dollar, just like we had yesterday. It's still the dollar. It's like this week is just devoted to the dollar. So we have a lot of fundamental events coming from the United States. Mr. Sojo Bilano, I didn't see you again after you left yesterday. You said you were coming back. Okay, I believe we'll respond to that. So we have uh, 4 events today, 2 high impact and 2 medium impact. The high impact, we have the Empire State Manufacturing Index, and that's coming up by 1:30 p.m. By 2:15 p.m., we have the Industrial Production Monthly, and 3 p.m., we have 2 events, Prelim UOM Consumer Sentiment and Prelim UOM Inflation Expectations. And for all these news events, if the actual is greater than the forecast, it means the event is good for the currency, in which case we expect the dollar to appreciate in value by going in the bullish direction. And if the news comes out not to favor the dollar, we expect the opposite, which is a bearish movement. So now there's a time difference between all these events. So it means if you want to trade the dollar for all these events, it's advisable, maybe the one for 1:30. If the news favors the dollar, you buy the dollar. And by 2:15, you might have to either close your ongoing trade and open a fresh one, or you move your stop loss to break even, to protect your profit, since you don't know the direction the one at 2:15 will go. I think the best thing is just that for each of them, just trade it as it comes. But most importantly, we'll also look at the technicals to see if there's any projection ahead which can guide our direction, where we perceive the market will go, and knowing the particular outcome to look for, either the one that where actual is greater than forecast, or the one in which the actual is less than forecast. So I'll flip over to the technicals. I will quickly look at that as we also prepare to look at other technical setup for the day. So earlier in the week, I remember telling us categorically that I was bullish on the dollar for this week. And we can clearly see that, from the news yesterday and afterwards, the dollar has been bullish. If you check my weekly outlook, I said I saw price was even just around here back then when I said I saw a double bottom, which would lead to a bullish breakout on the dollar index. Yesterday, we actually saw the dollar index make its way up. Though currently,
Boss.
overnight, yes.
No, your screen wasn't showing, but it's showing now.
All right. So I think that was just a network delay. So, but currently, we had a kind of a fake out overnight on the dollar index. So we really don't know what the dollar is saying specifically, because these are not clear candles. They are not clear candles. And don't forget, today is Friday also. There may be instability in the market later in the afternoon. If you go to the daily time frame, we can see that it looks like the candle for today is below the close of yesterday. So this is telling us that we don't really have much clarity, on the dollar. If you go to the other dollar instruments, this is USD JPY. We can see price is in an uptrend. If I want to look at price in one angle here, I will say rather that probably price is trying to form a head and shoulder on the USD JPY. That's a possibility. Even if that is not going to happen currently, you can see that price this daily time frame, price is testing this former resistance level, is testing it right there, forming a rejection candle. So we might just be looking at, and let's confirm that across the other dollar pairs if we can get a confirmation for that. On the USD card, the USD card is still bullish. A double bottom pattern that is still bullish. Okay, so let's check USD CHF. Then we can have a clear decision on what to look out for in the dollar. The USD CHF went full scale bullish, just in line with the weekly analysis. This is purely bullish, and it has broken above Fibonacci 60, 61.8, and Fibonacci 78.6. So this one has done its major bullish movement. So now we're having three scenarios on the dollar. The dollar index is not giving clarity. The USD is looking bearish. The USD card is looking bullish. The USD CHF, as well as I'm concerned, I think this one is neutral. It's neutral for now. Okay, can I say it's neutral? I remember telling us at the beginning of the week that this one may also form a possible head and shoulder. If anybody remember the analysis, I said that at the beginning of the week. So this one looks as if, it's trying to form that. So that means the USD CHF is, aligning with what we are seeing possibly on the USD JPY, except the USD card that is a bit different at the moment. So we can look at it on two angles. If the news favors the dollar this afternoon, we may be looking at buying the USD card since this one still looks strongly bullish. However, if the news does not favor the dollar, we can look at selling USD JPY, which is looking bearish at the moment, and the USD CHF, which is equally looking, bearish, except if the market condition changes, I will actually take this, as a formation of a head and shoulder pattern. And this is actually what I give as a futuristic sorry, but we had a network glitch. Network has not been stable all around the nation since yesterday. Can you hear me clearly?
Very clear, Mr. Lukumi.
All right. Sorry about that
Yes,
break. It's due
go
to
ahead, sir.
network. Network has not been stable all over the nation. The telecoms companies seem to have a network glitch across board, especially MTN, sorry, yesterday. So I think it's still a little bit on. So I hold a bearish outlook on the dollar, pending any other change. And I'll be looking to sell the dollar if the news does not favor the dollar. I'll be looking to sell USD JPY or USD CHF. And if the news favors the dollar, I'll be looking at buying USD card. All right, that's it for the news we are expecting in the afternoon. Though by the afternoon session, my other colleague will give more insight into what to trade, for the afternoon session. But then let's look at other instruments that I have for us this morning. This morning, I want us to look at GBP JPY. Now, this instrument from analysis yesterday, I held a bearish outlook. It actually made its way down a little, but then I expect a further, breakout downwards in the course of today. Though, to be honest, today is Friday, and we're meant to trade with caution because from the afternoon, it's possible volatility may, reduce in the market. Currently, this is what I can see on GBJPY. It has actually broken out of the trend line. You can see that this whole zone has broken out, and we have a rejection candle right here, which should lead to, a further bearish breakout. But then entry can be made when price breaks the current, minor support. There's a minor support here. So at the break of this minor support, you can trigger a sell to the next support level. Will price get to that support level? Honestly, I cannot guarantee, but it can move some safe distance, which can, earn us some profits. And if I look at this on the other angle, I'm equally seeing this as a head and shoulder pattern, which should lead to that further bearish breakout. So I hold the bearish outlook on the GBP, JPY for today. It's intraday is 1 hour, so it should happen in the course of the day. Secondly, I have an outlook again on the crude oil. That's the US oil, labeled as USOUSD on our platform. On the 4-hour time frame, you can see we have, a trend line, or a rising wedge pattern drawn on the 4-hour time frame. And if we flip down to 1 hour, price actually hits the upper trend line. And I believe it may end up doing a kind of a double top and breakout downwards. But then let's move over to like 15 minutes and see what is obtainable. Okay, on 15 minutes, it actually has broken out of a rising wedge pattern and entered into a range. So in the course of today, if price breaks out below the range, then it will be an opportunity to trigger a sell on US oil. Because on the on the 4-hour time frame, it's a rising wedge and price already hit the upper part. So the next thing price is expected to do is to break out downwards. Now, peradventure price does not break out downwards. There's equally another scenario, and that's the scenario in which case price will hit the support level, resistance level rather, on the daily time frame. There is a support turned resistance on the daily time frame, which price is just at the tip of that resistance. Support it to become resistance, which should lead to a bearish continuation. So go to 4-hour and 1 hour, and we're still back at the previous spot, which we can draw a trend line and draw a second trend line. So either ways you want to look at it. And that gives it the outlook of a confluence, because on the 4-hour time frame, we have a rising wedge. On the daily time frame, we have a resistance. So either ways you want to look at it, I'm looking at a possible bearish movement on the US oil. Yeah, this is the 4-hour. On the daily, we have a resistance. On the 4-hour, we have the rising wedge formed, which is, coincides rather with the tip of the support on resistance on the daily time frame. So we have a very strong confluence around this place, which should lead to a bearish breakout. So please watch out for that in the course of the day, a bearish breakout on the US oil. On 15 minutes, it's already broke out. We're just waiting for price to break below the minor support to trigger a sell on the US oil. So we're bearish on the US oil. And next I want to show us is the GBP card. I've been bearish on this one all week long, but there seems not to be sufficient volatility in the market to push it down. We never can tell that volatility may come today. If it comes today, then we can trigger a sell on GBP card. But please, a note of caution, this trade is strictly for swing traders. Now, this is GBP card on the weekly time frame. I've showed us many times. It's a resistance on the weekly time frame. And on the 4-hour time frame, we have a rising wedge. We have a rising wedge on the 4-hour time frame, which is a bearish breakout. And not only that, we equally have the formation of a head and shoulder, which should break out downwards. But in the last like 1 day thereabouts, price has been ranging around this minor support level. So if price breaks out below that level, then we can trigger a sell on GBP card. Again, it is purely a swing trade. So it's for swing traders. So I still expect this. And peradventure it doesn't happen today, it will surely break out maybe next week. But I have my eyes closely on this because the breakout can actually be massive. It can give a very massive profits. Profit can be in the range of about 82 pips or thereabouts to, let's just say roughly 80 pips of Fibonacci 50 and about 130 pips of Fibonacci 61.8. That could give a combined over 200 pips. So it's a swing trade setup. If you're a swing trader, you can watch out for it in the course of today if it breaks out or later on. And now these other pairs should be traded with a lot of discretion. And that's the GBP New Zealand. Why I say with discretion is because it can be volatile, but then if it's in your direction, it can be profitable. Now, this is GBP New Zealand on the 4-hour time frame. We have a resistance zone. And if you flip down to 15 minutes time frame, we have a head and shoulder pattern information as we speak. And that should lead to a bearish breakout. So if price breaks out below the current neckline, it's an indication to trigger a sell on GBP New Zealand. Once we have a clear candle breakout below this, we can trigger a sell on GBP New Zealand. Okay, I think that should be all for now. The same thing is happening on Euro New Zealand, but then I will advise you pick just one. Don't trade both. For Euro New Zealand, also we have price hit a trend line on the 4-hour and on 15 minutes, it's having the head and shoulder pattern likewise. And that to a bearish break. So I'm bearish on Euro New Zealand and New Zealand. And finally, I have a BTC USD. Now, BTC USD is actually going through a phase as we speak. Earlier on, we had a massive breakout, and it hit the high of, as in broke out beyond the high of about 2 to 3 years, hit about $73,000. But then currently, we can see a bearish movement and also a bearish setup on BTC USD. Currently, price has broken out below a rising wedge. RSI is clearly below 50, and MACD is also below 0, telling us of a potential bearish movement on BTC USD. Now, price can actually drop beyond the current level, and if I use my Fibonacci tool, BTC USD could drop to from the current level, it could drop to Fibonacci 38.2 at 64,000, or Fibonacci 50 at 62,000, or Fibonacci 1.8 at 59,400. So in the coming days, we might see a decline, in the price of Bitcoin. Now, that doesn't mean that the bull run is over. It may just be a retracement before, a further bullish continuation. But currently, we're bearish on BTC USD. So if you're a BTC trader, now be careful of entering a sell trade on 4-hour. BTC can be very volatile. So I would advise you look for trading opportunity, maybe on the 15 minutes, or the 1-hour time frame. Currently, I'm not seeing an entry on those time frames, except we want to wait for a breakout below the current level. So what you can do is that you can put a support line, a minor support line here at the tip of the most recent low. And if price breaks out below it, then you can trigger a sell on BTC USD. All right, so that'll be all with my analysis. David iPhone is saying he cannot hear me, but I believe others can. So let's say at David, kindly check your device. So David, kindly check your device. Others can hear me. Kindly log out and log in again. All right, so that's will be all with my analysis this morning. I can see people dropping requests for different instruments. I'll look at them one after the other. Jacob Akogure is asking about Euro JPY. So let's take a look at that briefly. Now, this is Euro JPY on the daily time frame. Currently, we really don't have much clarity as to the next move of this instrument. We don't have much clarity. There's nothing so clear about it. So I will not want to give an analysis on what is not clear. I'm not seeing any tradable opportunity at the moment on Euro JPY. I will advise you stand out. Euro New Zealand, sir, is it a swing trade also? No, ma. Euro New Zealand is intraday. It's a 15-minute entry. It can happen anywhere from now. So it's an intraday trade. It's not a swing trade. That's for Madam Onaji. So for Mr. Jacob, I would advise you stay out of Euro JPY. There is no tradable opportunity at the moment on it. And Shade Zevex is asking about gold. Now, gold will ultimately move in the direction of the dollar today. So I will advise to trade gold with a lot of caution. If the dollar, you can see on the dollar too, we're having inconsistency. Some are showing bullish, some are showing bearish. So it's the dollar that will decide what happens to gold. So if the dollar goes now, but technically on gold, I would say what looks like what is happening now is looking a lot like a double bottom, which should lead to a bullish movement. But then gold's movement is in the hands of the dollar. If the dollar goes bullish, gold will go bearish. If the dollar goes bearish, gold will go bullish. So just watch out for whatever happens to the dollar today. That's what determines the movement of gold. And please take note that the last couple of days we've had a lot of range in the market. The market has not been volatile enough. We don't know that may also still affect the market today. So please trade today with a lot of caution. Make sure you are constantly, if you place a trade, make sure you are constantly watching it. And also today is Friday. There can be erratic movements in the market, especially from around 12. So please take note of all that. Emmanuel Luko is asking about NAS 100. Of the trend line, I said the bearish. All right, apologies, the network went off again, and we're back. So like I was saying, we have had a rising wedge on NAS 100 for several days and several weeks. And I said it a few weeks ago that we are seeing a head and shoulder which should lead to a bearish, breakout. if this work just as we are seeing, then if you go down to 4 hour, we can clearly see that price has broken the neckline, and we should expect a bearish continuation on NAS 100. However, I would advise you trade. It's a bearish one on NAS 100, but I would advise you trade with a lot of caution because the bearish trade is coming on the 4 hour time frame where the stop loss can be a bit wide. So for Mr. Emmanuel Oko, I would suggest you maybe make entry when price breaks this tip of the support level. If price breaks, trigger a sell on NAS 100. Bearish on NAS 100 is a bearish trade. We're only trying to take caution on entry because of the level of volatility of this instrument. Except you want to scalp to that minor support level from the current price, that is also possible. Or in any case, please trade with a lot of caution. The trend is bearish, but trade with a lot of caution. US 30 Paul Chicks. US 30 is labeled as DJ30 on our platform. Now, if you check my weekly outlook, this instrument has done its beats that I gave it has done its beat on the forecast I gave for the week. And for me, I think we should just let this instrument rest. And that's why I always encourage us to, make use of the weekly outlook in your trading activity for the week. If you check the PDF of the weekly outlook, which I dropped on Monday, I said it, and even if you watch the video on Monday, I explained because I dropped the outlook, and Monday analysis is always devoted to looking at the analysis of the weekly outlook. I said in the outlook that if price breaks the current support level here, we can have a bearish entry and a take profits at the first minor support, the second take profit at the second minor support. And I said again that entry for a bullish trade, because in a symmetrical triangle, price can break out, downwards for a sell or upwards for a buy. It can, anywhere the breakout happens, that's where price is going. And on the bullish side, this is the entry where I put the horizontal line, first take profit level and the second take profit level. Now, this is what happens. Price actually broke out downwards, but did not hit the first support level on this instance here. Then it reversed upwards to make an entry right here, and it has hit take profit one at 119 pips, and very close to take profit two at about 283 pips. It has done its best. I don't really see much movement happening. This is the weekly outlook, already worked out just in line with the analysis. The only thing, if you still feel you want to trade this, I'm trying to look out for a possibility. It's not getting, we have a rejection candle here though, but I'm trying to see if you can connect any trend line to touch it. Otherwise, left for me, this instrument should just be allowed to rest. That's done what we expected it to do. Like I always say, don't force any trend line. Okay, I think this person is still that, I don't want to use the word lucky, but the support, the rejection lines are still able to touch. But then trade with a lot of caution. It's possible we may have a bullish movement, but then I don't see much volatility. The way the market is going today, we may not have much volatility. But in any case, if price is able to make any bullish movement, you can see on the 1 hour, on the 15 minutes, it's trying to form an inverse head and shoulder, but it's not having sufficient volatility to take it up. So if volatility ever returns in the market today, you may look for a bullish trade if price is able to break above this level, then you may look for a bullish breakout. So that the person asking, that's just all I can give on this for now. If there's volatility, it may just break out upwards. That's for Paul Chicks. Otherwise, we should just let the instrument rest. That's not all we wanted it to do for the week. All right, so that's my view on the US 30. And I think we've talked about gold already. We analyzed gold. USD CAD. USD CAD is bullish. Only trade it when the news is released. If the news favors the dollar, buy USD CAD. If the news does not favor the dollar, sell USD CAD or sell USD CHF. Mr. Sonny Chicks is asking about Euro USD. Okay, we've not mentioned Euro USD, so that'll be the last thing I'll talk about as we round up. All right, so Euro USD also has played out in line with the analysis for the week. But then the next movement of Euro USD also will be based on the news that will be released by 1:30, 2:15, and 3 p.m. We had a bearish outlook for the week on Euro USD. You can refer back to the weekly outlook. If you had the weekly outlook, as much as this week, there has not been much volatility as expected. I've seen hundreds of pips already generated from the weekly outlook. Please always use the weekly outlook. It saves you a lot of stress. From the weekly outlook, I said that Euro USD was going to sell. And you can see that has already happened. Price already hit Fibonacci 30.2. Now, if the news this afternoon favors the dollar, Euro USD may drop further. If the news, as in all the three news, favors the dollar, we may see a further drop on Euro USD. And if the news does not favor the dollar, price may retrace. Don't forget, today is Friday, is the end of the week. A lot of retracement is actually expected in the market today. So whatever trade you want to take on Euro USD, you have to wait till the news is released. The news is the one that will determine the next move of Euro USD. All right, so that will be all with my analysis this morning. I think I've attended to everyone that dropped the request, I've attended to it. So if you are here to open an account with PU Prime, please go to our website right now, www.puprime.com to open a live account. Once you open an account, the account manager with PU Prime will reach out to you and guide you through the registration process. And our PU Profit Scanner is still on. You want to get access to it, just top of the account with $100 if you are an existing client. And if you are completely new, you need to fund with $200 to get access to the PU Profit Scanner. The scanner helps you to make trading a lot easier. So you are there, you don't, maybe this analysis using support and resistance is too complex for you. It's not a problem. We already created this software to give you a soft landing, in trading. BTC, sir, Mr. Odeme already attended to BTC. You can watch the video on my YouTube channel. We already bearish. We had the bearish outlook on BTC, but you can watch the full video on my YouTube channel. Currently, we are not getting any setup yet on the PU Profit Scanner. The market is quiet. This week has been a very quiet week. But then if there's volatility later and there's a setup, you will surely get it in the Signal group. All right. Thanks for attending the analysis today. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye. You too.